Hello. Hi, everybody. This is Saturday, December 14th, 2024. Welcome. You have stumbled across my YouTube channel called Mimi Stitchery. My name is Amy. Welcome along. If you've been around and following for quite some time, thank you. It gets a little crazy around here sometimes. If you're new, welcome aboard. I hope you like what you see. I'm no longer going to call this a floss tube because honestly, it's about all my crafts. I'm not confining my crafting anymore to anything. I do find that I have certain times when I work on certain things, and that's simply because of the time of day it is. But I'm not confining my crafting. So today what I have is I have some cross stitch. I have knitting. I have a knitting finish. I have 2 stitching FFOs. I was trying to get another one finished. We'll talk about that soon. A finished object that I've been working on to get done by the end of the year. That is almost done, so I will show you that. I have some haul. None of it is cross stitch related because if you've been around for a while, you are well aware I have plenty of cross stitch stuff. So I've kind of been on a spending, I don't want to say moratorium. If I see something that really, really trips my fancy or I can't live without, I would buy it, but I have not. Not that I haven't seen many awesome things, but I have many awesome things here that I want to stitch. So my head seems to be in a better space as far as FOMO and all of that. However, in the yarn department, the FOMO kicks in for real. But that also is going to back off now that we're headed into the beginning of a new year. And we'll talk about that at the end of this video. I figured I should film something today because the next video that I plan to record is my whip parade. And I have made decisions about the whip parade. I will be recording a whip parade that includes all my whips. So that means stitching, knitting, sewing, and any other crafty thing I'm doing, because I've decided not to confine that stuff anymore. I'm just crafting on what I want to craft on. I have some crafts I'm doing today that I probably won't post on Instagram because they're for work gifts. So I'll take pictures and post them after I give them, that are not any of those things. So I've decided that I just don't want to confine my crafting. So this YouTube channel is going to just become all the things. I'll try to keep them in some sort of order, so you can piece out if it's something you don't like, but honestly, I can't promise that either. So if you've been around a while, you know how my brain works. So that's your little disclaimer. Those are the plans going into the new year. This is not going to be a floss tube channel anymore. It's just going to be a crafting channel. And even I'm getting back into reading for fun for the first time after being in school for so many years. And I'm reading Facing the Giants by Ken Follett at the moment. I think it's Facing the Giants. It's a trilogy. It's the first in a trilogy. Very thick books, but I'm looking forward to reading them. And I'm clearing out things and donating lots of things and doing all the stuff that I think lots of people do before the holidays. I'm getting ready to go on my Christmas break. So for those of you that don't know, I'm a nursing instructor at a local nursing college. So I am the RN program coordinator there. It's stressful this time of year. So I have one more week of just meetings and meeting with students. And then I'm off after the 20th, and I do not go back until the 6th of January. So I have a couple weeks off, which is nice. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, without further ado, let's get going. The first whip I'm going to show you has become my snow day stitch. So I'm going to pull it up here for you to look at. I have decided that my full coverage was not getting as much work as they needed to get done. So I right now am using The Stitching Shelf by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I've got the Max Color regular size version, and this is what it, whoop, let's see if I can make that happen again. This is what it will look like when it's stitched. Sorry for the glare. There we go, that's better. I am stitching this on 28 count 2/110, and you will see, I have to find a place to put all this stuff. I'm in a new area. That I have rolled it down all the way to the winter shelf, and I've decided to work on the shelves within season. So this is my snow day stitch, and you can't see a lot of it because a lot of it's white on white. You can see that you can't see the lines very well, but there you go. You can see here, this is the fall shelf started. I started the summer shelf and just kind of worked my way down to the corner. So I will work on the winter shelf at least every time it snows until we're in spring, and then I will switch it to the spring shelf, and then I'll figure out what kind of rotation we are on. The next thing I want to show you, it is so close. It is Anaforest Grew by Rosewood Manor. I am stitching this on 28 count mushroom linen by XJU Design. I'm stitching it with all the called for DMC. I started this for my birthday last year. I'm pretty sure it was last year, and Gail from Gail's Gold Needle started it with me. The goal this year is to, I should have started with the finishes, but I guess we'll just keep going. The goal is to, we broke it apart into 12 parts, and we are finishing it by the end of the year. And to say that I'm excited about where I'm sitting with it right now is an understatement. I did bring a board over today, but this one's bigger than the board. So there you go. It's all done except for the words. So I'm working on the words in that smaller tree. I was working there last night, and then I have to finish the words up in the middle. But other than that, she is done. My hope is to work on this more today and get it done. At least, if not today, by the end of the weekend. And I'm going to put this back together so that it's all ready for me to go. But yeah, my goal is to have it done this weekend. The next one that I have been working on is, and this has a little bit of a story. This is my Dimension stocking. Hold on. This is Enchanted Ornaments by Dimensions. I have showed this the last several floss tubes, I think. And you would think I'd have a lot done. I figured out I had to frog a whole lot on this. And for those of you that know me, you know I don't like to frog, and I won't frog if I don't have to frog. And I decided that I had to frog. There was just no way around it. So this whole upper part here, I had this all done and had a lot of this blue done. Let me get my board. And I had to frog all the stuff that I had done here, and I think I'm going to have to frog all of this. So I'm working this gold lining across again, and then I'm going to decide what else might need to be frogged on that. But yeah, I've got it rolled up in my scroll frame so you can't see the stuff I've already done. But I'm now working from the top down. I needed to go across the stocking because I was personally just getting worried about the margins here. But as soon as I'm done with Anaforest Grew, I believe that that stocking will get much more work. It's either that or Royal Holiday, which I haven't worked on in forever, and I'm missing her as well. And this one, quite honestly, I couldn't remember if I showed this to you in my last video, and I didn't want to watch my last video to find out. But this is Kringles by Little House Needleworks. And let me get this. Dropping everything today. I get the top of my head a lot today. And I enjoy working on this one too. And here it is. I think I showed it, but I'm not sure. My goal was to get the bulk of the house done and then go back in and work on each of the rooms. We'll see what happens the next time I pull this out. I really think that once And a Forest Grew is done, I might spend a good portion of next year concentrating on my Christmas. But we'll see, you know. I say lots of things and then that's not what I end up doing. So it is what it is. Those are all my cross-stitch whips. I'm going to show you a couple FFOs. I FFO'd this. This is from Jack Frost Tree Farm. I believe it's Little House Needleworks. I stitched this on 28 count. Monaco, tea-dyed by me. And as you can see, I didn't do all the parts. I just did the one at the top and 3 down below. I didn't want another huge piece to hang on my wall, so I kind of stopped it at this. But now it hangs up in my living room. I'm loving it. So that's that. This one had been finished for quite some time. I want to say probably before last Christmas. The other one I FFO'd was the reindeer from Cottage Garden Samplings, Year in the Woods. This is stitched on a Be Stitch Me fabric. I don't remember the name of the fabric, but he looks awesome. He's also up in my living room right now for the holidays. So that is the cross stitch for today. That's it. I've been working really hard on And a Forest Grew. The last week or so I've had less stitching time because things have been busy at work. Nighttime has been way more of a knitting time because I've been so tired. But more stitching lately. So now I'm going to transition into knitting. So today this is very organized. We're done with the stitching. I'm going to go to knitting. So if you're piecing out right now because all you like is the stitching, bye. I'll see you next time. If you're here for the knitting, I'm going to show you my finish first. I just finished these this morning. These are the pink lemonade socks. This yarn was from 3 by the Sea. It was one of their summer releases. I'm actually going to shift my camera just a tad. There we go. So yeah, I finished these. These are still drying. I washed them this morning. And these are going to go to a friend of mine. So I wanted to make sure to show them on here. The other thing I want to show you, knitting-wise, is I have some whips. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen them. If you follow me on Ravelry, you've also seen them. The first sock whip that I have is my Advent socks. I'm trying to find the tag. These are from Cozy Knitter. Hold on, I'm trying to find a tag. These are from the Cozy Knitter 2024 Advent. These are a 24 stripe skein. And I'm knitting the socks in tandem. It came with a mini of undyed yarn. So if you have this and you haven't looked at today's colorway, you're going to want to look away right now. Because this has today's stripe in it. Oh, and I was just showing. These are a little tangled. This is going to have today's stripe in it. So just so that you're aware. And I decided to let the stripes run through the heel. I have never done that before with self-striping yarn. And I decided to do it this time. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not, but either way, that's where we are. And here are the two socks. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this or not. So tomorrow, I've already started on tomorrow's color as well. So here, let me try to cover that, because I wanted to finish the heel turn. So tomorrow I'll finish tomorrow's color and pick up all the gusset stitches, and we'll see how that's going to work out after, with me leaving it striping through the heel. I have never done that before, but I thought, let's try it. Let's see what it does. But I'm liking these overall. I like that they're now transitioning. I can kind of see where the skein is going now, which is kind of nice. But yeah, those are my Advent Cozy Knitter socks. I have 2 yarn Advent calendars this year. One I'm knitting from, one I'm not. The one I'm knitting from, I do believe... Oh, maybe not. I'm trying to think. I would have shown it on my Instagram, but probably not on here. Let me show you my other sock whip first, and then we'll talk about my Advents. I am knitting a pair of socks for my husband. He requested. So I've knit him a Christmas pair. I knit him an orange pair because he likes orange, the color orange, and he requested a neon green pair. So I am knitting these with Craftily dyed yarn in the colorway Limelight. It's a 75-25 blend, and I ripped right through that, so it's Limelight. It's in one of my bags. I have one sock completed. I am knitting these on ChiaoGoo 1.5, size 1.5, 2.5 millimeter. Is that what they are? I think. In here, because he's got a big foot. So here's the one sock is all done. Should put this on a blocker. One sock. And then I've got the other sock like 20 rounds from the heel, I think. 20, 30, 40. 25 rounds from the heel. I'm using the markers to keep track to make sure the two socks are exactly alike. I'm using a Knit Picks black, fingering black, for the stripe at the cuff, the heels, and the toes. And so that's what they're going to look like. And I'm going to continue to work on those. Normally I would have taken those to our Saturday morning breakfast and worked on those, but we were getting ready to go do some shopping afterwards. And sometimes when I'm working on stuff at that breakfast, my husband's grandmother, she has dementia. She's 96, 97. She gets on a smaller loop because she gets enamored with what I'm working on. So I just didn't take them for a combination of reasons today. But yeah. The other thing that I'm working on, which I started recently, I finished, as you know, I finished my last sweater, my Simple Raglan sweater by Madeline, put out by Madeline Tosh. The pattern was by Jojo Locatelli, I think is how you pronounce it. That sweater's finished. I have tried to wear it a couple times. It is super warm. So unless I'm in really cold weather, I'm not going to be able to wear that sweater, which is fine. It's a sweatshirt style, so when I'm down here in the basement, it comes in very handy because it's super warm. In cold weather, it's 9 degrees here today. It would be super good if I was going to spend a lot of time outside. I would wear that sweater for sure, but it's not going to be a day-to-day wear for me because it's so warm. And it was knit with a knit alpaca blend, and I knew it was going to be warm, but it's really warmer than I thought it was going to be. So anyway, it was my first sweater. Great experience. I totally loved knitting it. Glad it's done. The next one that I decided to knit was the Ranunculus, and this is by Knit Cafe Midori. Yep. If you haven't heard about it, you've been in a hole in the wall, because if you're a knitter, this has been all over the place. I have decided to knit this. Let me see. I have a full skein here. In Brava Tweed by Knit Picks. In this color, I don't think it has a colorway name, does it? Wreath. Colorway Wreath. And I'm stitching it on the called for size needles, and I'm stitching it, I think it's a size 3. I have it on try-it-on tubing because I'm at the increases, and I wanted to be sure that this was, but here I am. So I've got the yoke finished. I'm now working on the increases to get to the point where I can split for the sleeves. There you go. So I'll now have to add a progress keeper to this today. I've got my little stitch markers that my girlfriend got me from Rhinebeck because I'm a nurse. This one's an eyeball. If you didn't see these last time, this one's a heart. I don't know if you can see it. It's a heart. And then what other ones do I have here? This one's a kidney. And then what is this one? Oh, this one's the brain. Can you see it? So yeah, that's this. This is fun to work on. I am totally enjoying this. I also plan on picking this up this weekend during some Christmas movie watching. And I do have a method to my crafting. There are times of day when I work on certain things. First thing in the morning is my Advent socks because I want to get them done and out of the way, because that's the only Advent knitting that I knew I was going to be able to keep up with. So I do that. Then I take socks with me to work because they're portable and easy, but I have to have the socks in a place where it's just straight knitting, because otherwise I'm too distracted and don't do things right when I knit the socks. So I tend to have a couple pairs on the go. So if I have one at the heel or one at the cuff or one at the toe, I have another one at the straight knitting section. And so that's been working out well for me. And then my stitching is mainly in the evenings. It's wintertime, so I'm not outside in the evenings. So the first couple hours are usually stitching. And then after that, when my eyes get tired, I tend to knit. And I tend to knit at that point either on the sweater or the Afghan that I started with one of my Advents that I'll show you here in a second, because they're just easy knits and I don't have to think much about it. And the sweater will get even easier once I get into the body and the sleeves, where they're a little more just straight knitting. I do believe the Ranunculus, I'm going to do short sleeve version, because I envision wearing that with a long, like t-shirt type shirt underneath it, or a long sleeve blouse underneath it, something like that. So, or over a dress, maybe. Yeah, I envision doing something like that with it. So, I think I'm pretty much decided I'm going to be on the short sleeve version on that. But I have enough yarn to do long sleeve if I wanted to. So, there's that. The next knitting project I have to show you is one of my Advents. So I got the Polka Dot Creek Christmas Advent this year, which is every mini skein that you open is a different yarn dyer, Canadian yarn dyer. So I think that's great because I like trying different yarn dyers' yarn. And it came with, it's the Elf themed, Elf the movie. It came with this elf-themed bag, which I absolutely love. It has candy canes, syrup. It has all the candy food groups on here. It's got a nice sturdy bottom, nice sturdy handle, a metal kind of, I call it a purse kind of enclosure. And the inside is more elf themed things. And I decided to knit the Cozy Comfort Throw by Homespun House. And let's see. The first colorway was Goody Goody Gumdrops. Was that what it was? Hold on, let me find out. Because I have the tags in here somewhere. Yes. So the bottom part that you're going to see, the first part is Sea of Swirly Swirly Gumdrops. It is by Windswept Fibers and Design. So Windswept Fibers and Design. It is a 75-25 Superwash Merino Nylon blend. It's called, like I said, Sea of Swirly Twirly Gumdrops, and you'll see it in the yarn. But that's this, and that is our website. And the second one, day 2, keep in mind I had no envisioning that I was going to be able to keep up with this Afghan every day. Day 2 is from Crafty That Way. Crafty That Way. I wrote over it, so it's hard for, this is number 2. Crafty That Way. And this is also 75-25 Superwash Merino and Nylon. And it's called Nice Purple Dress, very purpley. And you'll see that. And then I'll show you what I've got done on the Afghan so far. And then I'll show you the rest of the Advent. I am combining this with undyed fingering weight yarn. A skein did come with the Advent. I also ordered some from Knit Picks, which I'll show you. I have a ton of it. I've ordered two batches of it now because I have other things I want to do with it. But here we go. This is the Cozy Comfort Throw by Molly at the Homespun House. And so this is the Sea of Swirly Swirly Gumdrops, and this is very purpley. And I can show you the purple because I'm not done. This doesn't come out as much. So see, there's a little bit of variegation in there. Nice yarns. Nice yarns. I enjoy working on it. It's kind of a mindless knit, so I enjoy it very much. And I will show you, so what I'm going to show you now is the rest of the Advent all the way up till today. So I'm not going to show you today's right this second. Okay? But these are the colors. This is day 3, so this is the next one to go in. And then they kind of, let me hold it like this. All the way up to yesterday. So if you haven't opened today's, I'd like you to look away for a second. I'm not going to say the name of it either. I'm just going to show it to those of you that are watching. This is today's, and I will add this to my string of yarns here shortly. But here, okay, now I'm back to just all the way up till yesterday's. So if you were looking away, you can look back. And as I add them in, I will talk about the yarn dyer and the colorway as I show them. And I'm trying to find a way. I like this. I saw this on, is it Never Not Knitting? I think it's her. That I watched, and she had them strung up on this try-it-on tubing, and I actually really love this idea. This is not technically try-it-on tubing. This is bracelet tubing that you can get off Amazon. I do use it as try-it-on tubing, though. It comes on a roll. It's cost-effective. But yeah, these are the colors. So as I add each one of these in, I will talk about the yarn dyer so that you can see, and I can tell you what my thoughts are on the yarn. So far, it's been a completely pleasurable experience. I'm totally enjoying the yarn advents this year. I won't need to do any next year because I have another yarn advent this year that I started a project on and I've changed my mind. So the other advent that I got was Leap of Faith yarns. I have a mini skein open every day, and on day 25 there's a full skein sitting there. So Polka Dot Creek is all mini skeins, which is great. This one Leap of Faith happens to be all mini skeins. They are plant themed and a full skein at the end. So I originally started a corner to corner crochet project with this yarn and have since changed my mind because I came across the pattern for the Battenberg blanket and I'm wanting a crochet project, and I have knitting blankets going. I have an all cotton blanket going for my son. I have a Coziest Memories by Kemper Ray, her blanket going with my scraps, which I need to add a bunch of squares into that. I have the Cozy Comfort Throw going, and so I wanted a crochet project. So I saw the Battenberg blanket, and I thought these little squares are the perfect way to display Advent yarn because I can see how many little squares I can get out of one mini skein. I have a bunch of natural undyed to go into it with it and see what I can make out of it. And maybe I start doing that with scraps too. Put some in the Coziest Memories, put some into this. So I ripped out what I had finished, which was not much, on the corner to corner crochet. So this was Leap of Faith. These are all plant-based. Leap of Faith came also with a wool wash bar. It's called Dreamy Lavender Wool Wash Bar. And it is from, who's this from? Handmade in Arkansas. Grow Mountain Crafts. And I haven't used it yet, but I will. And it also came with a bunch of progress keepers that are beautiful. I love them. I'm actually probably going to put one of those on my sweater. I actually have a Tree of Life, as you guys have seen, tattooed on my arm, so I might put that one on my sweater. And I'm going to show you the first one because this is the one I had caked up because I had started. I've since recaked it this morning. This was, I didn't bring over the colorway for this one, but this is the first color. And now I'm going to show you everything up until yesterday. And you're going to see why I stopped working on what I was working on. Look at these colors. I think a blanket with that Battenberg blanket with the colors going from one corner to another corner would be absolutely beautiful. And so that's why I've changed my mind on that. And I may start that at some point this weekend. I have not decided yet. But this is all the way up to yesterday. And again, as I add these in or as I make things out of them, I will talk to you about the color name. But yes, so looking forward to working with those. And so now I'm going to show you today's color. I was just trying to see what time I was at. Today was number 14. It is the colorway Fig, and each one comes with a Bible verse inside, which I have enjoyed reading those every morning. I do Bible study in the morning anyway, so this is kind of just added. And this week, it's funny how God works, but these have really suited my life that is going on right now and helped me. So now I'm going to show today's colorway. So if you haven't opened this yet today, please look away. Isn't that pretty? And I'm still showing it, so if you're looking away, keep looking away. And you see it in progression here. totally excited for what's coming on that. Yeah, excited. So the plan for that Advent is to do the Battenberg blanket, and it's just a kind of do as I do. No pressure. I may take those if I find that I have enough scraps left over to do the Coziest Memories too. I will do that as well. I'm be interested to see like how many squares I can get out of one mini, and then kind of go from there and see. I know that the Coziest Memories takes about 8.5 grams per square. So if I have enough left over, or maybe I do the Coziest Memories and then do the Battenberg, I might do that. I might do that just so the Coziest Memories can get some work. But here you go. I will decide that later on. So I guess now we're out of the whips and we're totally on to haul. So I have a little bit of yarn here. And part of it is because I decided to re-up on Yarnable, but with a different weight yarn. And the other part of it was because 3 by the Sea did a holiday yarn drop. And guess what was in the yarn drop that I didn't get last year because it was a mystery and I wasn't as familiar with 3 by the Sea, and I wasn't sure about a mystery because I wanted to know what I was getting. They had a Christmas yarn drop, 3 by the Sea designs. If you are not following them and you knit, you should, because they come out with some pretty awesome colorways. And last year in their mystery was Mean and Green. I get Sanibel base when I buy from them. This is 75-25. 75-25 is my preferred. I will do 80-20, but I like the nylon blend. 75-25. It seems to be easier on my hands as I knit, as I refine what I like to knit with. That's what I'm finding out. Mean and Green, and I was able to snag some from their holiday drop, and I've already got it caked up because I told myself once I finished those pink lemonade socks that I was going to cast on some Mean and Green shorties for myself. And look at this. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. I'm going to do stripe of color at the cuff. I'm going to do a larger cuff and do shorty socks for me, and probably do the heel and toe with the green. But yeah, look at that. I cannot wait. I may have to cast those on today. I don't know how much longer I can wait. I've been waiting a year for this yarn to come out, and I know that sounds silly, but it's a thing. And when I bought from them for that, they also put out, this is also by 3 by the Sea. This is called Night Divine. It's also the Sanibel base, which is the 75-25. So it comes with the main skein, which is beautiful, with the 2 minis. So these will now go in my Christmas. I have a Christmas yarn bin. And obviously I thought I was going to be able to knit them all up, and I haven't touched it at all. And now the Mean and Greens are going on, so we'll see how long I stay in the holiday spirit. But there you go. This will go in there. And I also had signed up. I've missed very few of their mystery boxes since I missed the Mean and Green one last year. So they had a Frosty mystery box. Again, 3 by the Sea. You would think that I'm addicted, and it's true. But look at that. Nice winter colors. Snowman colors. So yeah, that's my 3 by the Sea Designs haul. I did sign back up for Yarnable. So I signed back up on Yarnable for a couple of reasons. Mainly because I wanted to increase my DK weight yarn stash to do things like hats, mittens, scarves, color work and sweaters, that kind of thing. So I signed back up and I got DK weight. Plush DK, it's called 8515 Superwash and Nylon. I was a little bit surprised. I love the colors. Do not get me wrong. I was a little bit surprised it wasn't holiday themed. But that's okay. It's not. It comes with little things. So I got a Dinosaur Tim. The theme was dinosaurs. I know that much. Dynamite. So we got a Dino Notions tin, which is this. We got a Dino Progress Keeper trio and green snips, which are now going to go in my Mean and Green bag to match my socks. And they come in this little pouch here, which I like using these little pouches. And then the yarn comes in this sack, which I also like collecting these and using these for gifts. And this is Dynamite. I love the color. I'm going to say I was just a little surprised that it wasn't more holiday themed. But I think a lot of people were. I was watching Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady. She said the exact same thing. I was like, bingo, that's what I thought too. But it's pretty. It's very pretty. And when I first saw the dinosaur theme and the, how do I say this? Not realistic dinosaur either, cartoon dinosaur theme. I was a little concerned about the yarn color, but I do really like this. I like the greens, blues, and the purples together. I'll be curious to see how this knits up. I am thinking of possibly starting like an alpine bloom hat, or I don't know, some sort of color work in a sweater, alpine bloom sweater even, and use this for the color work. I don't know. I have thoughts. Right now it's going to go into my storage. I have no pressure to knit this up in the month I get it in, so that's that. And I also ordered another bag of 75/25 superwash merino wool nylon natural, because I have the Cozy Comfort Throw that uses this, and now I have the Battenberg blanket that also uses this. So I have a couple projects, so I just went ahead and ordered another package. I have a package over there from last order, and then I'm just going to use it in those projects and, have fun with it. Play. I'm looking around to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. I think I've showed you everything. That's not bad. We're like 42 minutes in. I have plenty of time yet to keep crafting. I'm looking forward to that. I will get this video up as soon as I can. No editing. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for taking time to watch. I look forward to doing a whip parade and showing you bunches of things, not just stitching. It'll be knitting, sewing, quilting, all the things, and setting some goals for next year. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit, because I have decided to focus on finishes. So that being said, I do have some goals with my stitching. Have some goals with my quilting, and knitting is just my fun that I have really no goals on. I just kind of do. But I do have some goals for stitching. I would like to still continue to whip down. I still have had relatively few starts this year, considering how it's been before. And I have a bunch of scrap yarn that I need to figure out what I'm doing with. And I have some quilts that I would like to finish. So, and I have a dress that I've started that I have not finished that I would like to finish. So there's a lot going on in my crafty brain. Right now, I'm going to say goodbye to you, and I'm going to go start crafting for my office gifts. So I'm excited. You guys have a great day today. If I do not see you before Christmas, have a very Merry Christmas, a very Happy New Year. If I don't see you before the New Year, I will see you shortly thereafter with a whip parade. So be blessed, everybody. Have a great holiday season. Enjoy your family, and just enjoy crafting. I'll see you soon.